Video tutorial is for the third assignment that you have in week 1, and this is going to be dealing with scale. So what I want to do in this tutorial is just go over what you're doing in the assignment and the very basic layout that you're going to have in Illustrator. So over here in Blackboard, I have several sections on scale that I'd like you to go through. What we're talking about here is the difference in size of objects. So small to large to very extreme, large to very extreme small, and how this scale not only controls how our eye is directed in the image that we're seeing. So the things that are largest, for example, we see first. Things that are the smallest, maybe you don't want someone even to notice. But we're also thinking about how the scale of something affects what we think of it. So we're going to be working with scale in terms of text, but also scale is really important of imagery. So here we have an example of an image that looks normal. The scale is correct between the airplane and the city outline until we see the hand here. And then we realize that something is either very large or something is very small. So it really affects our interpretation of it. So you have a reading assignment from Ellen Lupton. This was the book that I put as optional because it's pretty much available online as well. And I'd like you to read through all of these sections here. It won't take you that long. It's not as much as it seems like. But in particular, we're focusing on the section of scale. I also have here an outline of this practice, the scale practice, as a PDF, just for you to use as a summary, but I will be going over all of this in the video tutorial. So what you're going to be doing, and here's my other outline, is you're going to create 3 versions of this assignment. Each version is going to be on its own artboard. You're looking for word opposites, such as outside and inside, come and go, empty, full. Okay, so they're words that are opposite each other. You're going to use scale to represent something about that word, right? Scale and also placement. So make sure you're using both of those things. A lot of times I see assignments where someone's just using placement but not scale. Notice in this one, it almost looks like the C as if someone was like yelling, come. And then in the other one, it's almost like an echo, go. So scale is being used as well as placement. So placement is about where the words are on the page. You're going to use the same word set. So you have 6 different word sets. You're going to redo that 2 other times. And the idea is because hopefully by the 3rd time, you're going to work out some preliminary ideas. A lot of people find that their 3rd version of this assignment is the strongest. For some people, it's the 2nd version of the assignment, but it's almost generally not the 1st version because we get better the more times we try it. So it's for all the artboards, you're creating the same word sets and you're just going to try different things with them. I also have over here some past student examples and you can look at them here. I really like ones that are really pushed in terms of how large and how small and how much of the space that you end up using. This is a really great example. Wide really takes over the space and tight is really small inside here. And you can see this is their first version of wide and tight, which was also pretty good. And then it gets to be even more creative here. Oh, where do I have the 3rd version? Oh, sorry, this was actually the 1st version. Wide, tight, really uses the whole space. Then this is the 2nd version, also very creative. But I think the 3rd version is the one that ends up being the most interesting. All right, so let's just jump over to Illustrator. I would like this video to be a little bit shorter. What you're going to do is go to File, New, and this is also going to be 8.5 inches by wide by 11 inches wide by 8.5 inches high. And this one will have 3 artboards. I'm going to hit Create. So you will also need to use guides for this one, but the difference is I'm not going to give you the measurements. I want you to figure out the measurements of what your guides need to be to have even spacing around them. I am giving you the measurement that I want all of your boxes for these words to sit in. Just looking over here, you see how they're all in boxes. I want those to be 3 inches by 3 inches. So to create those boxes, rectangle tool, properties, and I'm going to make sure my fill is at no fill, and my stroke is black and it's 1 point. And I'm going to click and I can hold the shift key down and it's locking my proportions. And I'm going to go until I get 3 inches by 3 inches. And remember, I can always go over here and refine that and get right in my properties. Just make that exactly 3 by 3. Oh, I hit the wrong key, I think. That's why it gave me that lovely sound. Okay, get that 3 by 3. Hello, taking a little bit, sorry about that. And then I click outside the field and it happens over here. And now I can copy this. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Alt and holding that down, and that will duplicate this. So I need to figure out my spacing so I can get 6 of these on a page without, oh, sorry, with even spacing going all around them. Okay, so obviously this is not it, but that's what I want you to figure out. And I did cover how to set up your rulers and guides in the last video. So if you skip that one, you may want to go back so you can just get that preview of how to set up your rulers and guides. But all of these need to be aligned correctly and set up and with even margins. Either left and right should be even, and top and bottom should be even. I'm not saying that they all have to be even with each other. The spacing in between should also be even. Okay, that's all I'm going to cover in this one. And then in the next one, I'm going to cover what you can do with the text and how you can get it in the boxes and even to go behind the box.